I'm not the smartest person in the world. I'm not the most creative. I'm not the best of anything. Here's what I'm getting at, and I'm trying to explain this the right way. It doesn't hurt the stars. Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, they're still gonna work. You're not getting called into any auditions at all, and everybody you see on TV is a minority now. So I used to be an actor and a model, and I walked away from that because I wanted to start creating car content on YouTube. What a silly idea, right? Let's go back to 2010. I was living in Washington, D.C., and I was a personal trainer and also a model. I was very successful. I was booking work all the time, making lots of money, having fun. A client of mine who was a photographer suggested you need to start doing some modeling. He knew that I had dabbled with it before in my early 20s, which I did, but I didn't really know how to pursue it. It wasn't the same back then. We had to order these books and mail all of our pictures in. It wasn't like it is today where everything's accessible at the internet. So we shot some pictures, reached out to an agency, the Artist Agency, and then they signed me. I started booking work. I did an ad for AT&T. I did an ad for Fashion Washington, for the National Harbor. I was booking work all of the time. All the time I was booking print work. A lot of fun. And the money was good. I was meeting pretty girls. It's like, this is great, man. This is awesome. Like, I'm getting paid to get my picture taken, and I'm meeting attractive women. I mean, who doesn't like that, right? And I always wanted to do acting because acting was one of those careers that, you know, growing up in Southern Maryland, you didn't know anybody that did it. It seemed like one of those unattainable careers, and I thought, well, why not me? And remember, by this time, I'm a little older. I'm around 30 years old. I'm 45 now. Got a late start. I was bad when I was a kid, into my teens and even early 20s. Had some problems that set me back for a while. Did end up going back to school, went to college, got a business degree and grad school. I know, I'm all over the place, man. But anyway, I'm starting to reach out to New York agencies. I decided, you know what, I'm gonna move to New York. I'm gonna study acting at New York Film Academy, which I did. I studied acting, I was auditioning at the same time, and working as a personal trainer. I booked Primetime What Would You Do with John Quionis, a hidden camera show. I booked that. That TAF heart-lead me, which means that I qualified to join the union, to join SAG, and I didn't have to. Often people have to be an extra and get free vouchers, but by booking the speaking role in a SAG production, I got to bypass that. And man, I tell you, this was, I guess, within a year that I was in New York, and I thought, you know, I'll be a movie star in no time at this rate. And I was just loving it. I did some car commercials. I did a Cadillac commercial a little later on, which I posted recently. I did some BMW commercials. I did all kinds of stuff, man. Lots of print work. Was still doing work in the DC area. I would still travel back to book local DC gigs. It was personal training. I had a great roster of private clients, and things were really good in New York. But then all of a sudden, I wasn't getting called in for auditions anymore. Wasn't getting called in, man. And yes, some of it is on me. I wasn't the best at auditioning. I've never been the best auditioner. I'm not going to say I'm the most talented person and I should always be called in, or that I'm the best looking guy in the best shape. Obviously, I'm not. Being good looking, being fit, you're just average in that industry. Average at best. You got to know people. There's a lot of politics involved and all the woke stuff. I'm convinced that Hollywood's obsession with diversity impacted me as an actor, and it's a touchy subject because it's something I'm not really, if I talk about it, I'm not even allowed to complain or talk about it as a white man. But what I'm getting at here is, you look at commercials nowadays and how many black people are in commercials and Asian people are in commercials versus what percentage of them are in the population. And look, I want everybody to work. I want everybody to work. Here's what I'm getting at, and I'm trying to explain this the right way. It doesn't hurt the stars. Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, they're still gonna work. It's gonna hurt the unknown white actors. So the diversity has impacted unknown white actors and models. But the stars are fine. It doesn't impact the stars at all. At least from my perspective, I stopped getting called in. I'm not saying that I deserved all of these roles and that I should always be working and that I was the greatest actor in the world. It's just kind of a weird situation to be in. You're not getting called into any auditions at all, and everybody you see on TV is a minority now. I just feel like it's something nobody talks about, that the unknown white actors get impacted and get hurt by it. Maybe they're not getting called in because of this extreme push for diversity, but at the same time, it's not impacting the stars. Brad Pitt's still gonna work, Tom Cruise is still gonna work, Meryl Streep is gonna work. I'm sure somebody's gonna attack me because I'm not woke enough and I wanna talk about this stuff. The industry just really isn't for me, man. I mean, I'm not a liberal, and I'm definitely not a progressive. And if you are, that's fine. But I'm not, and I'm not gonna be fake just to fit into an industry that, you know, I mean, it's ridiculous. If I had to do it all over again, I would have done what Stallone did. Even then, I mean, your chances are like getting struck by lightning. But you've got to produce, direct, and write your own stuff, man. Because if not, you're just dealing with other people and you're relying on other people to decide your future, and there's a lot of luck involved no matter how talented you are. It's a crazy industry. There's a lot of fake people. There's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on. The best way to do it is just produce your own stuff. When I was acting, when I was in New York, when I was living in Manhattan, I had a great time, and I don't regret it. But I wasn't around cars. I wasn't around the car hobby, which is what I am really passionate about. I love cars. The reason I made the shift, I started having lots of success with the short format content, the Instagram reels, the TikToks. I started blowing up. I mean, nothing crazy. I did have some viral videos and some viral clips, got in the millions of views, made some money with the Reels bonus program. I had 2 accounts, my personal account and my car page, which were really taking off. Same thing on TikTok, and I was making decent money, and I thought, why not do this full time? And things started to slow down with the short format content. I put all this time and energy into the short form content. It was easier to make. I could make it on my phone. YouTube was more work. YouTube was a lot more work. You have to talk for 10 minutes, you have to edit, you have to upload, you have to make your thumbnail, you have to figure out how to market yourself. It's a whole nother game. It's hardcore. And it takes a while. It takes a while to build a community. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And those of you that are, I thank you. I appreciate it. It takes a while to build that community. But it's much more rewarding. Now that I'm monetized, I started really pushing the YouTube over the last 3 or 4 months. And I'm monetized now, and it is so much more rewarding than the short form content. I'm really happy that I did this. I'm really thankful. And I started a second channel for adventures outside of cars, for hiking, for going out to eat, restaurants, just having fun, traveling. So if you haven't subscribed to Super Vlogs with Phil, please do. So instead of relying on an agent or a casting director to send me out to audition, I can make as much content as I want. I can focus on me, make what I want, and talk about what I want. Now, I'm not saying I'll never model or act again. I still have my foot halfway in the door, but for right now, this is just much more rewarding. I enjoy this. It's a creative outlet for me. I get to make a little money doing it, and potentially a lot of money. I've had some really good months with the short format stuff, and I do think that'll come back. And I jumped in full time because I'm not the smartest person in the world. I'm not the most creative. Not the best of anything, but I wanted to give myself 100% time to work on social media so I can still work on all my short format stuff. Instagram, TikTok, Threads. Threads has been good, monetized on there. If you're not on Threads, you got to get on Threads. That's easy money right now. That's the easiest place to make money right now on social media, and I'm sure it's not going to stay like that, so get on there if you're not on Threads. But the car community, while it's not perfect, there's a lot of cloud chasing and people are obsessed with money. Unfortunately, it's very expensive to pursue this passion. It's just the way that it is, man. Cars are crazy. Even if you're just driving Hyundais, and modifying them, it gets expensive, man. Everything car related is expensive. And that's why I started Super Vlogs with Phil, because I can just go to a random hiking trail, go to a local destination, and make content for virtually nothing. I'm not saying I'll never audition again, act again, model again, but for right now, I really enjoy creating content, YouTube videos, TikTok. I just really enjoy making my own content now and being in charge of everything. But I do miss it, man. I miss it. I miss living in Manhattan, the pretty girls. We used to go to these castings in person. Nowadays, it's a lot of self-tape. You send your own tape in. But man, going to those castings back in the day were great, man. You do meet a lot of good people. I met a lot of good people. a lot of good contacts, a lot of good friends. And my personal training career in New York, we can make another video on that sometime. I work for a private social club called Core Club in Midtown. Lots of multimillionaires, billionaires even, like Josh Harris, who just bought the Washington Commanders. I'd see him in there every week. He was in there. Fun place to work, but that's for another video. And I don't want to discourage anyone from being an actor. If you want to do it, pursue it, give it your all. But I would definitely say create your own stuff, whether it's YouTube videos, whether it's just short form content. Get yourself out there, because it is important and it is rewarding. More people are watching YouTube now than Netflix. I mean, that is wild. That is wild. It's a busy morning. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening to my little rant. I appreciate you guys. Please like and subscribe, and if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.